Right, hello everybody, welcome back. You've come to us at an absolutely thrilling moment. We have caught up with Tom Addy and Craig Passmore, and it's all changed. They're actually all square right now on the 17th tee box. This is going to go right down to the wire. That, I believe, was Craig Passmore's shot into the par 3 17th, and look how close it is. My word, it is all to play for here. Tom Addy and Craig Passmore all square through 16th as it stands right now, and look at that, that ball's gone off to the right. Big advantage, we believe, for Craig Passmore here. What a time to join us in the action. It's an absolute thriller here at Moortown. It's the quarter-finals of the English Amateur Championship. We're catching up with the men, then we're going to follow the ladies as they come through as well and get your 4 semi-finalists. That is going to be live for you today as well. We're going to bring you that this afternoon, and then of course tomorrow we've got the final for you. It will be played over 36 holes for the men's and women's amateur championship. Here they come, all square on the 17th right now. This could go even further. It could go, well, who knows, it could go 26, 27 holes. Let's just stick with this group. We're going to stay with them right to the end. Here they come down the par 3 17th. Fascinating stuff. In fact, whilst they do that, let's just pop the leaderboard up onto the screen so you can see how the upper and lower bracket of the men's and then the women's is getting on. I'll talk you through it as it goes onto the screen. So Tom Addy and Craig Passmore, this is the group we are with right now at 17. They are all square. Jack Bigham and Sam Bairstow going toe-to-toe. Sam Bairstow's 2 up through 9. I believe, obviously, that hasn't updated recently, but we're going to go find that group after we've caught up with these two gentlemen. In the men's amateur lower bracket, Jack Dyer, George Mason, they've been having a titanic tussle. They're all square. They're currently on the 13th as we speak. John Goff against Taylor Paul. John Goff is 4 up. That was through 8, so big advantage. Could John Goff be heading to the English Amateur Championship semi-final, which will take place later today? Now here come the two gentlemen, Tom Addy, Craig Passmore. Now Tom Addy there in the blue top, Craig Passmore in the grey top. So who was the shot? I believe it was Craig over here on the left with that incredible shot onto the green. It's only a few feet from the hole. If he can sink that, he could go 1 up as they head to 18. Pressure coming up very shortly. Hello everybody and welcome. By the way, I was just getting a little bit overexcited, and with very good reason. It's the quarterfinals right now of the English Amateur Championship. Do tell us where you're watching from. Do comment below. We can see the comments. Are you at home? Are you at work? What are you doing today? Where are you enjoying this wonderful coverage from? Do comment below and show your support for the players. We read them out. We will. Right, I'm going to go quiet now. Just let the players get themselves focused. Tom Addy just trying to read his line. He's Craig Passmore just repairing a pitch mark. Is it? Very difficult putt to read. It's almost a 2-tier shelf this, but it's a good putt from there, I have to say. It's pretty tough going. Had to navigate its way down the ridge. Now I actually think it's Tom to go first again. So this is a critical stage. All square on 17. We will go to the 18th in this match. he's made it. Great stuff. He needed to make that to put a bit of pressure here on Craig. Now if Craig can sink this, he will win the hole and go one up as we head to 18. He's made it. My word. So we head to 18 and Craig Passmore moves to one up. If he halves the hole or wins it, he wins the match and moves into the semi-finals. Let's let the players, let's just leave him alone. We'll catch up with him at the 18th. And here we go. Tom, how you doing, all right? Yeah, not bad, mate. Not bad. One up. Craig. Craig. So it almost feels like a bit of calm before the storm here, doesn't it? It really does. Craig Passmore is one up and is prepared to tee off here at 18. It's gone down the fair. It's a great shot as well. I think it's cleared those bunkers. Fantastic stuff. Just what he needed. Halves the hole and he wins the match. Shot, it is high and arrow straight, and that's exactly what I needed to do. Right, we're going to stick with this group, follow down all the way to 18. Craig Passmore one up as we're on to 18. High drama indeed. Let's just pop the leaderboard up onto the screen for you so you can see how things are panning out as we make our way up the 18th. So we will catch up with the other groups as well, but for now we're going to, we've got to stick with this group. However, if Craig Passmore can halve the hole, he will win the match and move to the semi-final of the English Amateur Championship. How great is that? He's been a permanent fixture. He's been an early riser over the last few days, has Craig, and so far he's just about getting the job done. In fact, it was only a couple of holes ago that Tom Addy had the lead in this match. It's all change here at Moortown Golf Club. It's an absolute cracker. It's day 5 of the English Amateur Championship. It's match play. It's the quarter-finals. And this is the 18th hole. Could it be any more dramatic than this? Get out of the way. So the weather's certainly a lot better than yesterday. It was quite, well, it just rained all day, didn't it? Spent the evening in the sauna just to try and dry out. So that's how things are panning out with the leaderboard at the minute. We'll be catching up with the ladies too, so don't worry, you won't miss the action as it happens live. And we'll be bringing you extended coverage of those semi-finals and later this afternoon. You won't miss any of it. It's going to be a treat. It's going to be a cracker. It's going to be something quite special. If you're wondering, we are just driving up at the minute just to catch up with the players. Right, you can pop that leaderboard down now because we are into a good position to watch the second shots here into the par 4 18th here at Moortown. Just if you are just tuning in, hello, welcome. You've joined us at a very, very special time indeed. This is the quarter-final match between Tom Addy and Craig Passmore, and Craig Passmore has just won the 17th hole to move one up. So could this be it? Could this be the last hole for Craig Passmore until this afternoon? And could this be the last hole for Tom Addy in the tournament? We'll find out very, very soon. Of course, if Tom Addy does win the hole, then we'll go back to the first and play a 19th.
You're starting to dodge cameras.
You can be in the shot if you want. Okay, I've got good eyes on it. It's approaching the green nicely. It's a very good shot, and it's really put the pressure on Craig. It's just to the left side of the green, but it is on the green, and it's just about where he wants to be. So a bit of pressure there for Craig. Craig a few 20, 30 yards further ahead though, but he is in the light rough just in front of that bunker. Just going to drive the buggy ahead so you can catch this. Great stuff indeed. So Craig Passmore can put this close. I think he'll be feeling quite confident of a berth in the semi-final. So this is now his second shot at the par 4 18th. He needs to halve this hole and he will win the match. That's all he needs to do. He'll be playing his own game though, won't he? He'll be thinking, just par it. Hedging your bets. Big pressure now for these young men. The ball's up. And he's hoping to get a bit of kick, and I think he'll be quite happy with that when he sees it. It's right in the heart of the green. Whatever happens, if he holds that, he will win the match, no matter what Tom does. So he has a match-winning chance here. Let's get ourselves up there. Let's just pop the live leaderboard up onto the screen for you so you can see how everything is panning out. Elaine, our producer, if you could just scroll through from the upper, lower and ladies section as well so everybody can just see how things are standing across all quarter-final matches here. Because the semi-final is today too, and we will be bringing you that live and exclusive. Okay, let's come back to the action here at 18. Craig can sink this putt, he will go and progress to the semi-final of the English Amateur Championship. It's a tall order. There's still work to do here, and he knows it. Now Tom Addy can sink this putt, we'll go back to the first for the 19th hole. He's missed it, so Craig Passmore has an opportunity to win the match, and he hands it to him. So if Craig Passmore holds this putt, he will move to the semi-finals of the English Amateur Championship. And he's missed it. So they move back to all square, and we head to the first. So there we go, we move to a 19th hole for Tom Addy and Craig Passmore. Leon, I'm just going to It's just me. I've just moved the buggy. Right, there's Tom Addy teeing off at the 19th hole. We now move to a sudden death situation here. Thrilling stuff indeed, isn't it? Here comes Craig Passmore. He was furious with himself after winning that, missing that putt to a chance to win the match. And he gives it full beans, doesn't it? He went for that hard. You got eyes on it, Ian?
I've got a line on it roughly, but it's 200 yards.
So he's going to have to play a provisional here. Right. Right, so we're going to walk down. In fact, we'll probably take the buggy and quickly nip our way down to the first green, shall we, Leon? In fact, there's a path this way, I think, so I'll just go grab the buggy. Whilst we do that, let's just pop the leaderboard up onto the screen for everybody, just whilst I go grab the buggy. In fact, whilst we're here, we've got another little video to play with you. It is, of course, the English Amateur Championship. And we had the luxury of actually grabbing a quick word with England Golf COO Richard Flint. So we can play that video for you now. Let's see what he had to say.
Another typical English summer's day, but we're at the English Amateur Championship. There's lots of great golf being played out there. It's great to see, isn't it?
Great to be here, Ian. Two great courses over the week, the finest men and women amateur golfers that we have competing over two great courses. We did this at Woodall Spa last year. There's obviously a reason why we did it with the pandemic, but obviously on the strength of what happened last year, we've built on it, and it's great to be here to watch these golfers over these courses.
And it follows on from the English Under-18 Championship, which was mixed, playing for the one trophy, but just having the men and women on site, it's good to see, isn't it? It looks right.
Absolutely. It's part of what England Golf wants to do in terms of making the sport more inclusive, more accessible and more affordable, and having both men and women competing over the same course. Farnham Under-18s was a fantastic event, Under-18s, and really showed how good it can happen in terms of mixed events. But obviously here today with the Amateur Championships and over the course of the week, we've seen some great golf already. Weather conditions haven't been great. Yesterday was really windy, even made my hair windswept, but really hope that we get a good weekend of golf for the match play side of things.
And we must also mention Headingley, who hosted the Stroke Play the first 2 days along with Moortown. The first time they've hosted an England golf event, but it was a real success at Headingley.
Both Moortown and Headingley have been incredible. The volunteers coming out to support these events are fantastic. Clearly they can't play golf this week, but they've really come out to support the events. And again, just seeing the commitment and dedication the volunteers have to support the best golfers playing over their courses is fantastic. So we really appreciate the support of both clubs. And also a quick shout out to our championship team. James, championship director, and the rest of the team this week have been unbelievable. Commitment, dedication, and really putting on a fantastic event.
It's a huge undertaking, isn't it, to put on an event like this? People think, players just turn up and play, but the strategy and planning that goes into this goes on months and months in advance.
If not years, Ian, to be honest, the preparation years in advance in terms of planning and the team's hard work, obviously working with the club to make the event what it is, also working with the volunteers and the local community where we can, and obviously making sure that the players, the volunteers and everyone that comes across the week have a great time, watch some great golf, and hopefully at the weekend we get two great champions.
Now, a huge part of England Golf strategy is for club golfers, for ordinary golfers, for handicap golfers, but there's also a place for the elite amateur, and a week like this just showcases the talent that is available in England just now.
Absolutely, we've got some of the best players playing across these two courses. One or two of them obviously played in the Open Championship a couple of weeks ago, so it just shows the quality on display. And again, if people are in the local area and want to see some great golf, why not come down and have a look at these golfers in action?
Does it make you want to get the clubs out and have a go yourself?
I don't think I'm quite good enough to compete with these players, but I'd love to do it at some point for sure.
But it's designed to be a terrific weekend as we get down to the nitty-gritty, isn't it, with the final groups going out this afternoon in the last 32, and then the weekend the finals, 36-hole finals on Sunday.
Absolutely, just the culmination of the week. I mean, obviously it was stroke play at the start of the week, 36 holes, and some great scores over 2 great courses in difficult and challenging conditions. But match play is really where it gets down to in terms of that nitty-gritty as you talk about, and you know, we may even end up going to go to the 19th hole or beyond. It could be that close at the weekend.
Yeah, look forward to the weekend's action. Thanks very much, Richard.
Thanks, Ian.
Right, welcome back everybody. It was great to hear from Richard Flint there. Craig has just played his second shot. He did find his first ball. It was well on the 18th fairway, but he's played it and it's just landed in the mound just in front of us. I believe that might be a bunker as well. So here's Tom Addy's second shot at the par 5 first hit. It's the 19th hole. We now move to a playoff. This is important. This is for a spot in the semi-final of the English Amateur Championship. And Tom Addy's gone a little bit off centre too, so both players have got a bit of work to do here, but I think Craig will probably be the happier because I think he might have just been slightly led off the hook a little bit there. So that's Tom Addy's ball there. And here is Craig Passmore's in the bunker, yes. So these will both now be, both place third shots. So I think Craig Passmore, he had to hit a provisional, didn't he? But he did find his tee shot, his first tee shot. He was well onto the 18th fairway, but he's managed to hit it over. He's landed in that bunker. Really had to go for it, didn't he? So it is still slight advantage to Tom Addy. So who do you think is going to win? Everybody do comment below. We can see the comments. Is it going to be Tom Addy? Is it going to be Craig Passmore? In fact, we have one of the groups behind marching themselves up 18 as well. They could be coming down 1. If you just turn around, Liam, just to your right, you'll see the players walking up. My word, it's huge drama here for the quarterfinals. It really is. It's close everywhere, isn't it? I'm just looking through the leaderboard. It does say Sam Bairstow's 2 up through 9, although I believe that's them walking 18 now, so things have changed there. In the men's lower bracket, George Mason now has moved to 1 up through 14 for the second time, second match in a row. He's coming from behind. John Goff's 2 up through 11 against Taylor Paul. With the winner, Annabelle Fuller, with the women, Annabelle Fuller's 4 up through 12, Kirsten Rudgley 4 up through 11. Amelia Williamson 1 up through 9 and Belle Wardle 4 up through 8. So it's Craig Passmore to go first. It's his third shot here at the par 5 first. And it's a lovely shot from Craig. He's given himself an opportunity here, although we now, because we're in sudden death, technically Tom Addy has a chance to win the match. If he can chip this in, if he can hold out from here, he will move to the semi-finals of the English Amateur Championship. Oh my goodness, it's close. And Tom Addy has a huge chance here. It is advantage Tom Addy in here for the quarter-final of the English Amateur Championship. It's Tom Addy versus Craig Passmore. It's been chop and change, isn't it? I think as they're on the 15th, it was actually Tom Addy who was one up, but then Craig Passmore pulled it back. In fact, Craig had a chance to win the match at 18. He was one up and he missed about a 4 or 5 footer. Now we're in the playoff, and as you can see, this is both players' fourth shot, but it is Tom Addy who's closer than Craig Passmore. Both tricky putts. Now the pressure is on. They're all square as it stands. Craig Passmore will know really he's going to have to sink this, and he's missed it. So Tom Addy has a huge chance to progress to the semi-finals. He wears his heart on his sleeve, does Craig. Now it's all up to Tom Addy. If he can sink this putt, Tom Addy will win. And in it goes. And Tom Addy gets the win. Congratulations, Tom Addy is the first player through to the English Amateur Championship semi-final. Well played, Craig. Unfortunate, mate. Well done, though. We need a rest. We've got nobody coming down one, so let's chat to Tom. Congratulations. Right, I'm going to say this. You're in the semi-final of the English Amateur Championship. How good does that sound, right?
Didn't think I'd make it off my first round. I'll take it.
It was hard work, though, wasn't it? And of course, when Craig made that at 17, it was one up, heading up 18. You've got to stay in it mentally, and you did, though, didn't you?
Yeah, it was tough. Obviously, I had a putt to win. I thought it was gone after that. And yeah, hit a good chip there and hold the putt.
What was going through your mind here, back at the first with that putt? Because I reckon when you practice, you make those bread and butter every day, don't you?
Yeah.
A little bit more pressure this time.
Felt a bit longer.
Yeah.
Definitely did.
Well, look, you've got to do it all again a little bit later. Congratulations,
Thank
Tom.
you.
You're in the semi-finals of the English Amateur Championship. Fantastic stuff. Right, we're going to get back out onto the course. Sorry, because there's more action happening behind us as well. So there we go. There's family. Sorry, sorry guys. Sorry for keeping them from you. Look, hugs. If you just turn around, look at this. How nice is this? Hugs from the family. Look, handshakes. Lovely stuff. Tom Addy there. He's in the semi-final of the English Amateur Championship. That will be played today as well.
Hi, Dad.
Yes, good lad. Thank you, guys. We'll see you later. We'll see you later. Right, let's get cracking on with the action, shall we? Tom Addy, a very, very happy man. Could have been so different when Craig Passmore had a chance to win it at 18. Couldn't quite get over the line, could he? And Tom Addy took advantage and wins it at the 19th hole. Congratulations. Right, we're going to get in the buggy, then we're going to get ourselves back out onto the course. There's action happening at 16. Let's pop up that live leaderboard so you can see how things are progressing whilst we take the buggy down. Do not go anywhere. Do stick with us. We're going to head down to 16 and just see who this is. I'm just trying to work out who it's going to be. Now, I did see... I'm pretty confident I saw Jack Bigham and Sam Bairstow going up 18, so I think we're going to miss them. So we might have to move on to Jack Doe. It might be George Mason, so let's go and have a little look, shall we? Keep the leaderboard up whilst we drive around, because it's not much fun for people just watching this. Are you ready? Good, good. Wow, big drama. I hope you're enjoying this so far. Don't go anywhere. This is very exciting indeed. It's the English Amateur Championship semi-finals. Quarter-finals. It's a place in the semi-finals. And the semi-finals are coming up a little bit later as well. We will be live for that too with extended coverage. We're going to head down to the 16th green now and follow the next group through. They're coming in thick and fast. We'll try and get as many people as we possibly can. We can't quite catch up with everybody, but we did see every single quarter-final of the ladies' sessions a little bit earlier. If you want to go back and watch that, please do. It's now live on the England Golf YouTube and Facebook pages. If you want to find out more about England Golf, you can. There is a link in the body of this broadcast. It'll take you straight through to the England Golf website. And I can tell you it is George Mason, because here is Dad. And he's one up is George Mason as we come to the 16th. He scrambled again, hasn't he? Back from behind.
He's just got that big tree here and kicked in the middle of the fairway, Jack Dyer. He's hit a conifer smack on and landed on the fairway and sent it off. Oh. Just run up behind George, but George is one straight behind flag. Jack's the one to the left.
Okay.
Jack's had two big pieces of luck, but George is so George. Jack's left.
Is he?
Back.
Yeah.
Great game.
Okay. Cool, let's go. No, we'll get it after they're still playing. So George Mason in the blue t-shirt. Jack Dyer in the white top. We saw a lot of Jack yesterday. In fact, we saw him win his round of 16 match yesterday and caught up with him immediately after. I'm just hearing George Mason's ball is the one closer to the flag. He's one up is George Mason. So George Mason one up here on 16 against Jack Dyer. So big pressure, Jack Dyer, George Mason. Here is Jack Dyer in the white top. Opportunity here for George Mason. Oh, and he's missed it. Yeah. And then we move to 17. So yeah, there we go, back to the par 3 17th. This is huge drama, isn't it? This is really quite exciting. George Mason one up as we head to 17. Are we going to go further again? The men's are really giving us a show, aren't we? We will give attention to the ladies shortly, but let's just see how the men all pan out. The men went out first, the ladies afterwards. So let's head to the 17th and stick with this. So George still one up.
Yes.
Still one up. Yeah. So if George Mason wins this hole, he will win the match and go to the semi-finals. It's the par 3 17th here at Moortown. Good high shot from George Mason here. It's on the green, but it's well to the left. Jack Dyer might be sniffing a bit of an opportunity. We saw from Jack Dyer, very vocal with his caddy. It's great to see. It's just trickling down to the front edge of the green. Right, I'm going to get the buggy. So exciting stuff indeed. We're going to stick with this group right to the very end. Who do you think's going to win? Comment below. Is it going to be Jack Dyer, or can George Mason hold on to his one-up advantage? So George Mason over on the left, Jack Dyer here. Ball just trickled down just off the front edge of the green. Oh, what a shot that is by Jack Dyer. What a shot. However, we do come to this. If George Mason can sink this, he will win the match. Oh. Oh. Right, so we move to 18 then. On we go. I'm just going to grab the buggy. Let's pop the leaderboard up onto the screen, because I can say Sam Bairstow has also booked his place into the semi-final of the English Amateur Championship. One up in the end. So we have Tom Addy and Sam Bairstow so far have booked their place into this afternoon session. So it's going to be George Mason to go first. He's one up here on 18. If he can halve this hole, he will move to the semi-finals of the English Amateur Championship. And it's a rip-roaring drive from George. He's a very good poker player, is George, because you just can't read him at all. Jack Dyer's picked the driver out. Dyer, big drive. It has a major feel, doesn't it? Look at all the spectators around. Right, we're going to make our way actually up to the 18th green now. So Leon, if you come back to me, we'll just pop the leaderboard up on the screen very, very quickly. So just confirmation there, Sam Bairstow, he's also through to the semi-final of the English Amateur Championship. Things are hotting up all throughout the course. Once we finish with this group, we'll catch up with the ladies as well. Now, speaking of the ladies, there is an initiative coming up in August. It's a Women in Golf initiative, and we do have a little video to play you so you can find out a little bit more and see how you can get involved. Elaine Roll, the Women in Golf VT.
And now I've started, I've got the bug now. I mean, who knew? I've just been hitting so many balls and I'm so determined to just crack it now.
I'm really enjoying the golf journey. The kids come to the driving range with me and probably for the first time and maybe the last time, they think I'm cool because I can smack a ball and it goes really far.
I've seen some amazing places, all playing a game that I absolutely love. So, you know, golf owes me absolutely nothing. I owe golf everything. Doesn't matter how old you are, you can get out there and have fun, and that's what I've done all these years.
I'm really passionate about getting more women and girls into the game. I just think that it really is a game for everyone.
My husband initially said I wouldn't be able to play, and I proved him wrong. My handicap is lower than his.
It's hypnotic, it's great, so you just want to keep going, so I've really enjoyed it.
If you want to do it, just jump right into it. You don't have to be judged by what gender or what age. It's just that if you want to do it, you can do it.
There we go. Let's pop that leaderboard down because, as you can see, we've caught up in a brilliant place. We've just popped out actually right at the 18th, and it was a monster drive by both these players, wasn't it? Look how close Jack Dyer is to the green. This is the 18th. It's a par 4 to finish up here. Like I said, we're going to catch up with the ladies soon. Of course, if you do want to find out more about that Women in Golf initiative, there is a link in the body of this broadcast. It will take you through to the England Golf homepage, and you can find out more information from there. You can also access the full leaderboard that way as well. So George Mason strikes the ball. Can he get it closer? All he needs to do is halve this hole, and if he does that, he will win the match. And it's just hit that mound, hasn't it? And it's just off the green, just on the right. So perhaps Jack Dyer might be thinking, okay, if I can put this close, if I can put this within 6 feet, he's got a real opportunity to take this to a 19th, just like we saw with Tom Addy and Craig Passmore. So look at Jack Dyer, he's so professional, isn't he? He's taking his time, he's going to walk up to the green, get a lay of the land, pick his spot, find out exactly where he wants to land this ball. This is crucial. He has no more second chances. He has to win this hole. It's George Mason, 1 up. And he's had to come and do it from behind yet again. Yesterday he was 4 down in his, I believe his round of 32 match or round of 16 match. He came through and won. And today he was 1 down to Jack Dyer early on in the front 9, but he's come back. So I'll just give you a little bit of information. I can tell you, Annabelle Fuller, we have our first female into the semi-finals. Annabelle Fuller has beaten Shannon O'Dwyer 4-3. As it stands at the minute, Belle Wardle looks like she's heading to the semi-final. She's 5 up through 11 against Jess Baker. Amelia Williamson is 1 up through 9 against Davina Zhang, and Kirsten Rudgley is 2 up through 14 against Mia Earl Smith. In fact, Mia's pulled her back a little bit. She was 4 down at one point. And John Goff and Taylor Paul are having a good go as well. They're on the 17th and there's only John Goff one up. So Jack Dyer, he needs to put this close. You want to put some big pressure on George Mason. Second shot at the par 4 18th. Is it going to kick back? And he's put pressure, it's rolling back nicely. I think he'd prefer to be a touch closer than that, but he's put the pressure. He's going to ask a question and he has a fair chance. He's given himself an opportunity to win this hole and extend this quarter-final to a 19th. So the situation is simple. Jack Dyer has to win the hole. Both players play 2 shots. This is technically to win the match. Oh, that would have won it. So it's quite simple. Jack's got to make this putt. Otherwise George Mason is into the semi-finals. Yeah. He's got it, he's got the ability, hasn't he? He's got the ability. He's made it. What a putt that is. So we head back to the first. So we move to a 19th hole, just like we did a little bit earlier. Exciting stuff. We're obviously going to stay with this and catch the action just like we did with the earlier group as well. Tom Addy and Craig Passmore and Jack Dyer there breathes a sigh of relief, takes to a sudden death playoff. Let's pop the leaderboard up onto the screen, because now it's all square between George Mason and Jack Dyer. Just down the bottom, I'll be coming up soon. Jack Dyer to tee off first. Here we go. It's the 19th hole. We go to a playoff. Now I can tell you as well, John Goff, he has beaten Taylor Paul, so this is the last quarter final to be settled for the men. Right, going to head down to the like we did a little bit, so exciting stuff indeed here. Let's pop that leaderboard up onto the screen just to get a bit of extra confirmation for you, so you can see how things are currently standing. Now we're going to make our way down to the first green just like we did a little bit earlier. All the other 3 quarter-final matches have now finished, so we're just waiting for, well, for the men's side of things anyway. As we saw Annabelle Fuller, she has also won the ladies section too. There is something that England Golf have been working on quite proudly. It's called iGolf is what it is, and it's for golfers who are not members of clubs. So if you want to find out a little bit more information about it, we do have a little video to play for you. Let's roll the iGolf VT. Okay, just pop the leaderboard up. Leaderboard up. Right, we're back. We're just navigating a bridge. So yeah, the ladies are coming in thick and fast as well now too. bear with us with the sound. It's because we're just moving the buggy around as quick as we possibly can to get into position to make sure we don't miss any of the action here. Right, let's come back. It looks like Jack Dyer is well off to the right, wasn't he? And he might have to navigate that tree. It's a lovely sight though, isn't it? There's a stream of people following this group, and rightly so. I can see George Mason's mum actually just to my right as well. I spoke to her a little bit earlier in the clubhouse. I said, how are you feeling before he teed off? She goes, I feel a bit sick. I wonder how she's feeling now. And actually, it's quite warm now. So I think Jack Dyer's really just trying to get a read on this. I just wonder if that tree is going to cause a few problems. It's his second shot. It's the par 5 first here at Moortown. It's a sudden death playoff now as well. There are no more second chances. He's really just taking his time. He's just trying to get a read. I think they're working out what best to do. I just think that tree is just causing quite a few problems. Best play to make. George Mason's got a clear run at the flag, so it certainly is advantage to George Mason here. It's the first at Moortown, but it's the 19th hole these two gentlemen have been playing. Jack Dyer versus George Mason. This is for a space in the semi-final of the English Amateur Championship. Now, if you are just tuning in, hello and welcome. We will be bringing you the action from the ladies' semi-final and the men's semi-final a little bit later today. Extended coverage of that too. And it's on the green. What a shot that is. I've got George Mason's mum here. How are we feeling? A little bit nervous. Nervous a shot. Yeah, I can understand. That's George Mason's mum just walking past us there. So they're marching their way down to the first green. I can see George's dad. I must admit, I didn't actually see where it landed. I think he's off to have a little look. That was an incredible shot, by the way, from Jack Dyer, wasn't it? That was his second shot. He was actually on 18th in the rough. We thought he had a tree kind of semi-blocking his view, but he's really, really pulled something quite special out of the bag. If he wins this hole, it will be because of that. If he wins the hole, he'll win the match. And I think it really is because of that shot. But don't count George Mason out of this yet. Where is it? Yep. Yeah. See. Okay. It's all right. crazier. So here they come. It's the 19th now. It's a sudden death playoff between Jack Dyer and George Mason. If you're just joining us, hello and welcome. It's the quarter-final of the English Amateur Championship. The semi-final will be played this afternoon. So a little bit later this afternoon, Tom Addy will play against Sam Bairstow in the first semi-final, and it will be either John Goff. Well, it will be John Goff. It will be either George Mason or Jack Dyer to face him. And that's a great shot by George Mason. That really is. I have a sneaky suspicion that we'll be heading to 2. And now George has put some serious pressure onto Jack Dyer. Of course, he will need to get it close. So here we go. Pressure is on. This is technically for birdie for both players, but if either miss, you'd think that would probably prove costly for the game. George makes it. So pressure again, once again, Jack Dyer has to make this putt, otherwise George Mason will move to the semi-finals. If he was on the practice area, he'd probably make these all day long. Sudden death playoff here, top scores are tied, all square. I don't believe it. And it's George Mason who progresses to the semi-final. Unfortunate, Jack Dyer is out of the competition. What a shame that was. I think he'll be kicking himself for that one, but well played though to Jack Dyer. It has been a cracking tournament and it's no disgrace at all. We get into the quarterfinals, but it is George Mason who moves to the semi-finals. He's going to go that way. He's going to avoid me. And breathe. There's Dad there giving a firm handshake. Let's go grab a quick word with George, shall we? George, that's lucky charm. You've had to work so hard, haven't you? Again, you had to come back from behind, but you keep doing it. It's just grind it out.
It's been a good game. I don't like to see anyone lose like that, but it's golf.
At 18 though, how did it not go in?
Golf again. Just seeing it.
Good attitude.
And
Semi-finalist, mate. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Well done, buddy. Right, there is George Mason. Now let's just see, because I don't think there's a lot actually left out on the course right now. We did want to catch up with the ladies, but I think actually a lot of them have finished. So let's just pop the leaderboard up onto the screen. Let's see how things are panning out, because we do have a few ladies coming down. Are they coming down to 17? And sorry, just have a look over there. Look, George has been clapped up the 18th fairway. Fantastic. George Mason is your semi-finalist. So it will be George Mason versus Jack Goff in the semi-final, and Tom Addy versus Sam Bairstow. That is your men's semi-final. Now, are we going to head over to 17? That's what I want to know. Let's have a look. So Annabelle Fuller is through. She's 4 and 3. I can tell you Kirsten Rodgley, she is through as well, 3 and 2. And Belle Wardle has defeated Jess Baker, 6 and 5. So I think that is pretty much it, actually, isn't it, for the quarterfinals? We're just waiting to see what Davina Zhang and Amelia Williamson are on. Looks like this game has finished as well. So, right, that's it, actually, then, for the quarterfinals. We might just have Davina Zhang and Amelia Williamson still out on the course. We'll keep you up to date with that. But, of course, we're going to come back for the semi-finals. How exciting is this? What a day we've had so far. The quarterfinals for the men are certainly over. We believe the quarterfinals for the ladies are also over too. Congratulations to everybody who's made it through to the semi-finals. You're going to see all the action from the men's and the women's English Amateur Championship semi-final very soon. Thank you.